Hey there, everyone. KT here. Very excited to start this. We're going to be doing a Let's Play of Pokemon Colosseum. I've only beaten this game one time, so there's a lot of things about it I'm very eager to play through and try different teams. I know there's like tournaments where you can get certain items, which I didn't do on my first playthrough. I'm not going to bother. I think we're just going to try to get the closest approximation to KAT. Good enough. Very cool introduction. I like the first cutscene of this game quite a lot because I think mainline Pokemon, your character is basically always a blank slate, but Wes is like very distinctly his own character. We don't know much of the story at this point, and I'll kind of ruin it. The story's not exactly good in this game. You can tell we're playing the Japanese version. The English one is very expensive, and I don't have a English GameCube. I have a Japanese one, so it wouldn't work anyways. But the writing is not really the heart of this game. It's not exactly good, so I think we can absolutely get by abbreviating the story. Here we find out about the bomb that we just set off. This is in Snag'em, Team Snag'em. They're a villain of the Orre region, which I don't know where it says Orre for the first time, but I just know that's where this game takes place, is the Orre region. I don't think any of you guys have anything important to say. I remember this guy sells items, but that's something I'm probably going to do more off-screen because I'd have to be checking individual items a whole lot. I don't know, you don't even sell stuff yet. Yeah, as I was saying before, I kind of rushed through my first playthrough of the game. I didn't get all the shadows until way into post-game, and I just did 100 or Mount Battle one time, and then did some of the post-game challenges. So I kind of want to experience the game a little bit more fully, you could say. Here's our introduction to combat. You get to see a beautiful Zigzagoon in 3D. His model actually looks really good. I think the 3D models in this game are generally excellent. Here we get to see we got an Umbreon and an Espeon. What a perfect duo. Okay, so this I do need to remember. That's obviously Bite. I think you start with Taunt. I remember you starting with a weird move. No, see, but that didn't let me select anybody. That might be Taunt. And this is definitely Confusion. Yeah, that was definitely Taunt. Alright. Figuring out the moves is going to take a little while, because... Okay, so that's Bite. So do I start with Helping Hand? Is this... No, that's not Helping Hand. Is that Leer? I don't know what move this is. I know you start with Swift. That's Reflect. Is this Leer? Tail Whip? That's Helping Hand. Okay. So Umbreon does not start with Helping Hand. Is that Swift? Figuring out the moves is going to be a big challenge right off the bat. But once we're settled in and actually using the Pokemon that are going to be on the team for sure, that'll be It'll be a lot easier. So on my first playthrough, I used a Espeon. I think the game kind of encourages you to. You start with an Espeon who's a fast, strong Psychic type, so the game really encourages you to utilize Espeon. So I've actually decided I want Umbreon to be my main Pokemon for this playthrough. I have a couple of other teammates in mind already, but Espeon is going to be getting benched pretty quick. Alright, there we go. I think if I go back in now, this guy will sell stuff to me. No, you're still pretty engrossed by the TV. Oh no, you do sell stuff. Okay. That, I think, is Pokeballs. As I said, I'll deal with all the item stuff later. Because you actually start the game with, like a full pack. You start the game, look at how many items you start the game with. In most other Pokemon games, you're lucky you get like a potion, and that's it. You don't start with Pokeballs in this game. I may actually need to buy some because of that, because I know there's a Shadow coming up. Maybe not max. Yeah, 10 sounds nice. Perfect. No, but that says now I have 12. Are Pokeballs in the main bag, or did I just waste money? We got 12 or whatever this is. No, one of these should be the balls pocket. Alright, off to a great start. Whatever. Hey, let's not worry about that for now. What did I buy 10 of? I bought 10 of something. They'll come in handy, trust me. They might be like X attacks or something. We go to, I believe this is Phonak. I love these cutscenes, little transitions between the levels. Though it's very unfortunate. After that cutscene, as soon as Rui joins our party, we don't get to see Umbreon and Espeon in the little bike with us ever again. It's just for that one cutscene. Whismer, very good. So at this point, we've KO'd 2 Zigzagoons, which give speed EVs, and there's 2 Whismer, which both give HP EV. I don't think for Umbreon I'm going to worry too much about my EVs. Obviously, at some point when we can buy the iron and the zinc and all that, we can definitely have a bit more control over it, but for later Pokemon, I think I will actually try EV training, because this game gives you a Macho Brace pretty early on. But because every fight is a double battle, so how on earth are you supposed to really control your EVs? The good news is that it, unlike experience, EVs are just applied right away to both party members. You don't need to worry about having both Pokemon active, splitting EVs or anything silly like that. You both get an EV for getting a KO, regardless of who got the KO. So right now, both of us, both Umbreon and Espeon, have 2 speed and 2 HP. Yep, very good. Alright, now let's rescue our partner. Yep, open the bag. So on my first playthrough, I got to this part, and I thought Rui was going to be like our rival. I thought it was a little weird where we get to name our rival after they've been established as a character. I don't think these say Rui. We're going with Chizuharu. Very nice. This part is so poetic right here. Rui is standing right in front of the player. It's like a little taste test for what the rest of the game is going to be like. The first interaction you have with her is right here. She'll be standing directly in the player's way. See? I guess you could go backwards, but no. Everyone's gonna explore the town. So what happens? You gotta push Rui out of the way, which you gotta get used to that. That happens a lot in this game. So here's our first Pokemon Center, and actually, we are not going to be continuing this save file. I'm going to reset until I have a Umbreon that I'm satisfied with. I guess I could check this Umbreon. I don't think he looked very good. 7865. That's I remember that nature too. But no, we're gonna reset. We're gonna reset until I get a an Umbreon that I want to use for the playthrough. So this is the first save point. This is the first point that we could get up to. So I'm gonna do that until I've got the Umbreon. So I'll see you soon. Good grief! I think that was over an hour. I must have done at least 20 resets. So this Umbreon, I've checked its IVs. It's not the most incredible, but for me, it's enough for the playthrough. He's good enough. So I've got the EVs, or sorry, the IVs on screen right now. You know, it's great for HP, and defenses are both good enough. So speed's also pretty good too. I don't know what physical attacks Umbreon gets, but we might be relying on Swift or Body Slam or something. May as well get our first heal in. It's so cool getting to see the 3D models enter the machine like that. I like how many things this game does that are parallels to the Game Boy Advance, or I guess all of the Game Boy games. Oh, there's somebody in town that gives me a TM. I remember that. Shop. Dare I? I don't think so. Good news is I didn't waste however much money on those items. I didn't bother to look up what they are, but thankfully we still have our money. I think it's you. Is it you that gives me an item? No. Maybe it was that other NPC little roller skates guy. Oh yeah, so when the TV's flash like that, that's supposed to be similar to in Ruby and Sapphire when the TV has something to show you. But this is actually just showing me the same thing from before. It's not really important. Is it you? Do you have an item for me, or do you want a battle or something? Yeah. Yeah, you want a battle. Wurmple, which is another HP EV. And a Silcoon, I believe. I don't remember their names. So very nice to have Helping Hand this early on. I think that was sort of the point, though. That's why you get a Helping Hand user, because it is going to be a double battles focused game. Nice. We have enough to KO literally the weakest Pokemon in the franchise. Another thing I think is very cool in Colosseum, and I haven't played XD, I should say that too. I have not yet to play XD. But I like that this game is like more distinct trainer classes. It doesn't just reuse them. We don't have tamers or cool trainers or anything like that. Oh, is that TM41? I believe that's Snatch? Might be good, might be getting sold as soon as I decide I don't need it. This guy looks very inappropriate for being in a Pokemon game. He looks like he should be in like Bleach or some kind of shonen anime. Here we meet the mayor. I think he's friends with Rui, or he knows Rui's father or whatever. It's very similar to mainline Pokemon. The story's not very important. I'm sure there's some people that have, like, they're very attached to the writing or whatever, but what I remember from playing it was that it was just not very well translated, and there's only one character I thought was cool, which of course he's not cool because of his writing, he's cool because of his character design and boss fight. So, oh wow, look at that. Yeah, see, so that's a thing that happens a lot in this game. Rui just kind of gets a little bit in your way, but thankfully the game is like very generous towards you. She basically always gets pushed out of the way when it's even slightly inconvenient for the player. So I think we need to go here. Pretty sure. We go here, we find out we're not allowed to enter the Colosseum or something, and then get kicked out. So that's actually something that's cool, is over here. This room is locked in the English version. I don't think it ever opens, because that's where we do the e-reader stuff. This game has e-reader functionality, which is pretty neat. Okay. You're telling me about the Colosseum, which I can't enter, and then I'm going to get jumped by a Team Snag'em guy. Yeah. This is where Wes is revealed to be an ex-criminal. We used to be a part of Team Snag'em. And if you see, we're wearing our, like, claw device. I think it's called the Snag'em hand? Snag'em arm? Whatever it is. Oh, Corefish, that's an attack EV. And that's a defense EV. Well, we definitely want the defense, but attack doesn't help us too much. And I don't think you can rematch this guy anyways. There's some NPCs you can fight as many times as you like, and other NPCs you get just the one. No, what am I doing? We'll go for this, because this is probably going to KO. Very nice. What's a water move that hits both party members? Is it Bubble? Does Bubble hit both party members? That also did no damage, too. Must have been Bubble. I don't think Bubble Beam hits both party members. I also remember the characters in this game having really strange names. Not that they were translated wrong or anything like that. I wouldn't be surprised at all to find out that they're all just made up for the English release, besides major characters. But a lot of them just looked like almost nonsense. Like they shouldn't be named that. Isn't there a guy? No. Oh, don't we come back here? We come back here later. And that's when we'll get our next, that's when we get our Johto starter. Oops. I remember there being a chest in here. Yeah, thinking you can hide items from me. Also cool, some items like that one, it gave me 3 of something. I think those were Pokeballs, actually. Nope. No, oh. No, that's, Snatch or whatever. Pretty sure that's key items. Alright, let's get this over with. Let's figure out what on earth am I holding and what am I able to buy. Okay, I believe I have the items figured out. This is a full heal, which we do value. This is a super potion. And all of these are like status heal. This is like a poison and ice heal, an awakening, and all that. I think I'm just going to sell all of those. These are regular potions too. So I think we're just going to sell them. It's a lot more convenient to just have no items in the inventory and know what the few guys that I have are. So we'll be selling them off. So yeah, I didn't check. What is 41? I have decided I do not want to keep this. This is Torment, not Taunt like I thought it was. Not that Taunt would be all that useful anyways, but there we go. Inventory is nice and cleaned out. I remember now we buy Pokeballs later. So now it's just any items we want to get here, which I believe these are all poison heal, all of that, except this is full heal. So we're not going to go for broke, but we're going to keep a stock of full heals. We have 5. That's probably fine. Alright, item situation taken care of. One thing I think is an underappreciated like tech in this game is that because it's a double battle format, items are a little bit more valuable because you can use them on 2 different Pokemon. There's also famously the X item glitch, which I'm sure... oh geez, you sell stuff. Is this it? Are these X items? Hang on. These look like they're X items, if I remember correctly. They are. These are our X items. Alright. I don't think are going to bother with this now. But this guy we're going to be wanting. That's X special. We'll buy a handful of X special, actually. 10 is a nice amount. Right, sorry, all scatterbrained. It's the items is definitely throwing me off. There's a glitch in this game which is very cool, and I will probably use it because it's a unique thing to this game. You can't do it in XD and you can't do it in any mainline Pokemon game. So if you're in a double battle in Ruby and you've got 2 Zigzagoons on the field, and Zigzagoon 1 you decided to attack, but for Zigzagoon 2 you went into the inventory. If you try and use an X item, it will work, and it'll work on Zigzagoon 2. However, in this game, if you use a item that'll have no effect on a Pokemon, so say, same example, Zigzagoon 2 is, he's healthy, and I try and use a Awakening on him, it won't do anything. So what it lets me do is that for my X item, I can select who I use it for. So I select Zigzagoon 1. It's a little bit complicated. It'll make more sense when I'm in a battle to demonstrate, but yeah, it's a cool tech you can only do in this game. That guy who we will be fighting. So are you going to sell me Pokeballs now? Alright, it's not L equals A, because this is not a Game Boy player. Oh, you're just giving me some. This is like a drug drop. Do you sell them too? You do sell them too. That's why I got thrown off. No, you don't sell them. So that must just be a antidote. We got 2 synchronized users, so it's better to just have a bunch of full heals anyways. Alright, I think we'll battle Mr. Man here and then call it part 1. Oh, you can't fight this guy. Never mind. So now that we have Pokeballs, where do we need to go? There we go. That activates whatever cutscene for... I think the town is getting taken over or something. Remember, it's summoning 3 NPCs that block each direction, so you have to battle them. We'll see. No, that's just the tournament. I don't enter the tournament. No, you don't enter the tournament. I remember. Remember bits and pieces of this game. Do we talk to the mayor again? There he is. Mirror B. Undoubtedly the best character introduced in this game. Debatably the whole Pokemon series, but he's absolutely my favorite from this game. We got a nice little sample of his unique battle theme. I think Lotad is special defense. I suppose I didn't comment on one of the things I think is unique about this game also is the battle environments generally look pretty good. The animations, I think, are good. I know some people complain that they slow the game down, but I think that they're fine. I think it's, battles still feel pretty brisk. Alright, here I don't... No, you're not the guy with the shadow, never mind. I was afraid I might accidentally KO the, incoming Makuhita, but that's the next trainer. This guy doesn't have our first shadow. We have our first shadow Pokemon. I have no clue what IV Spinarak would give. Eevee, not Ivy. I don't know why I get them mixed up. I know what I mean. I don't know why they decided such similar names for things that mean like your inherent stat or your experience stat. Pokemon Gen 1 and 2 had it right. You had your DVs and then you had stat experience. Those are very clearly segregated. And also, Eevee is the name of a character in the game, dude. What are you talking about? Why is Nintendo like this? Why do they pick such insane systems? I guess, actually, that's a good... I'd like to know if anyone knows. Why do we call them Eevee and Ivy? Because those aren't terms ever used by the game. Those are just terms that fans have decided that's what we're going to call them. Alright, Makuhita. This is our first Shadow Pokemon. This guy was my guy on my first playthrough. Hariyama totally carried me. He was so damn strong. One thing that's very nice about Makuhita is that he has an unbelievable amount of health. Just a massive HP pool, which is very cool. That hand animation for the ball is so good. There we go. That easy. I hate to spoil the fun, but if you didn't know, Makuhita has a 100% catch rate in this game. Catch rates are changed. I believe most of them were made easier with like 2 exceptions where they were made harder. And those are Metagross and... No, Metagross was made easier. Somebody was made harder and somebody else was made like stupidly hard. It's Tyranitar. Tyranitar I think has legendary catch rate. You know, no longer a pseudo legendary. He's the real deal. So that's the other famous glitch of this game is the Pokeball Master Ball glitch. I do not think I will be using that for this playthrough. We'll see though. Maybe I'll change my mind. I don't think I'm going to. I think I want to do this mostly by the book. Oh, you can't go that way. Alright, well that's going to conclude for part 1. We're going to save. And next time, we have 3 of those guys blocking our exits, so we're going to have to beat all 3 of them. I hope you join me then. Thanks for watching.